One of the most exciting and entertaining installments in the Star Trek franchise is back as Star Trek. Lower Decks Season 3 is now airing on Paramount+. There's more on the way with the fourth season currently in development. While other Star Trek shows focus on the actions of the bridge crew in their heroic escapades across the galaxy, Star Trek Lower Decks instead showcases the hilarious tribulations of the ensigns and supporting crew. The show is perfect for both seasoned Trekkies and newcomers alike, as it ties in quite well with the established canon, but it is not reliant on it, being a great option to start with for wary audiences. Whether for the animation styling, the cosmic adventures, or the irreverent humor and tone, these shows would also be good fits for those who have enjoyed Star Trek Lower Decks. Star Trek Strange New Worlds 2022 stream on Paramount+. Of course, there's no better comp for the Star Trek show than Star Trek Strange New Worlds, which has its connections to Lower Decks. The hit new addition to the franchise finished up its seminal first season over the summer, and fans had quickly proclaimed it to be one of the best series in the franchise overall. In fact, it is among the highest-rated seasons in the Star Trek universe via IMDb. Strange New Worlds directly leads into Star Trek the original series, as it not only follows Christopher Pike's endeavors captaining the USS Enterprise, but it also features important characters like Spock and Uhura. The two shows are going to get even more connected as they will cross over in Strange New Worlds' second season. Solar Opposites 2020 stream on Hulu Animation is home to a lot of irreverent humor, and Lower Decks is far from the only one about space and aliens. There are also Solar Opposites, featuring the vocal talents of Justin Roiland, Thomas Middleditch, Mary Mack, and Sean Jombrand as a family of aliens forced to live on Earth. The show's premise is quite goofy and entertaining, but there are some incredibly clever foundations and intricate storylines. Solar Opposites has already celebrated 3 seasons, with a 4th on its way, in addition to various holiday specials. With each season, it's only gotten better and zanier, so it's a great option for all sorts of viewers, whether they want to watch something absent-mindedly or devotedly. Archer 2009 stream on Hulu and Fubo TV. Another popular animated show and one that Star Trek Lower Decks can hope to emulate in longevity is Archer. The FXX spy comedy is currently celebrating the recent premiere of its 13th season, which is an incredible feat for any TV show. It's been consistently praised by critics and beloved by viewers for its absurd and dark meta-humor, crass language, and ridiculously funny quotes across all seasons. The prominence and popularity of adult animation are, in part, thanks to Archer's success, along with the likes of The Simpsons and Family Guy. It unites an all-star voice cast including H. Benjamin Bradley, Aisha Tyler, Judy Greer, Chris Parnell, and the late Jessica Walter. Joyfully, there looks to be no stopping Archer. Avenue 5, 2020 stream on HBO Max. Not all shows like Lower Decks need to be animated, and one live action that would be a good fit for Lower Deck fans is HBO's Avenue 5. The comedy stars Hugh Laurie, Josh Gad, Zach Woods, Rebecca Front, Susie Nakamura, Lenora Cricklow, and more as the guests and staff of a premier space yacht that unexpectedly veers off course, thus threatening all their lives. It mixes the wonder of a spacefaring show with the familiar humor of workplace comedies to make something quite special. The second season has been filmed, and it couldn't come any sooner. It's set to premiere on October 10th, over 2 years since the first season. The trailer shows that it could be more hilariously ridiculous than the last. Final Space 2018-2021 stream on VRV. Another cosmic adult animated show worth checking out is Final Space from Adult Swim. Unfortunately, it was among the first cancelled shows after the Warner-Discovery merger that would later lead to the prominent cancellation of other shows and films like Batgirl. Nevertheless, it got 3 entertaining seasons before it got the chop. Its cast is quite stacked with Olin Rogers, David Tennant, Stephen Yeun, and Tika Sumpter, to name a few, as it tells the adventures of an astronaut named Gary Godspeed and his planet-destroying alien friend, Mooncake, both voiced by Rogers. Even when the show has comedic moments, Final Space has its fair share of the nuanced story, especially given the companionship between the characters resembling the dynamics in Star Trek. Inside Job, 2021 stream on Netflix. The big charm of Lower Decks is that while it does follow the other Star Trek series in galactic adventures, it really treats their ship like their workplace. A good option for fans might be Inside Job, the Netflix series about a conspiracy agency trying to maintain control of the world. Lizzie Kaplan stars alongside Christian Slater, Clark Duke, Tisha Campbell, and more. The show was recently renewed for a second season. While fans wait for that, the first season is available, and it's definitely worth the watch for being a workplace comedy that harshly makes fun of the workplace and comedies, revealing some darker elements hiding under the surface. Space Force, 2020-2022, stream on Netflix. Another space-centric comedy that Lower Decks fans might find to be a good fit is Netflix's Space Force. Though it was cancelled after 2 seasons, it did see The Office superstar, Steve Carell, make his long-awaited return to comedy after years of serious, dramatic acting. Also in the cast were John Malkovich, Ben Schwartz, and Lisa Kudrow, who shone as the various employees of the Space Force program. As it is satirical, Space Force can be off-putting to some, but Carell's character, General Mark R. Naird, is just as lovably aloof as Michael Scott, but actually smarter. While compared to The Office, it can be found lacking. It's a shame that it wasn't given the time to really come into its own. In the end, the 2 seasons are still quite entertaining, and there are incredibly hilarious quotes from SAP's Force. Disenchantment, 2018 stream on Netflix. Not every animated show like Lower Decks has to be science fiction because, at its core, the Star Trek franchise is built on the foundation of fantasy. Hence, Disenchantment is another great show that has elevated fantasy elements. It's a satirical fantasy series created by Matt Groening with all the design and energy of The Simpsons and Futurama, but completely unique cast world. The show would be worth checking out for Lower Decks fans because it mixes elements and plots from both fairy tales, modern days, and science fiction, all while sharing a relatable tale at its core. It's already celebrated 4 funny seasons or parts as they're stylized, while fans still await news for a season 5. Harley Quinn, 2019 stream on HBO Max. Perhaps one of the most beloved and respected animated series today is none other than Harley Quinn. It was a sleeper at first, but its move to HBO Max skyrocketed it in popularity. This, along with the stability of Margot Robbie in live action, has established Harley Quinn as one of the most important characters under DC Comics' purview now. A big part of Harley Quinn's charm is that it was able to make obscure and frankly disrespected characters like Kite Man incredibly popular, that he's even getting his own spin-off, Noonans, just like these characters should, too. Everyone in it is hilarious and voiced exceptionally, and the show is just reliable entertainment. Harley Quinn just closed out its 3rd season, and thankfully, it will be back for a 4th season. Rick and Morty, 2013 stream on Hulu and HBO Max. There's probably no better match for the zaniness and humor of Lower Decks than Rick and Morty. The Adult Swim comedy is a perfect fit and has all the goods to back it up. Not only has it won multiple Emmy Awards, including for Outstanding Animated Program, but it has already become a billion-dollar franchise. A 7th season is in the works, and it wouldn't be surprising to learn of even more spin-offs from what's already been announced. Of course, the comedy and creativity on display make it so popular, but even deeper down, there is a lot to analyze. Plus, it dealt with the multiverse way before it was ever brought into the MCU and is still handling the subject the best.